see the little thing.
That's so funny. I didn't even realize it
Oh.
Welcome to the show. We've got Nic Austin. We're talking.
either.
Oh my God, we just had the most amazing in-depth conversation about queer cinema, and you guys have missed all of it. All of it. Oh my God. Quick
Yeah.
recap. Go.
I
Uh,
know. We talked
Mark,
about Oscars. We have Oscar predictions, and
Yeah,
literally talked
Oscar
about every film
prediction.
that's nominated.
I love that we just went Oscar predictions, Oppenheimer for everything.
Yeah,
I
basically.
I love the thing about one of the things on the Barbie thing that I loved was like her feet, that they looked like they were when she became a real person, they were flat. They weren't like the foot that goes
Perfect.
into the
Yeah.
shoe.
It was so funny.
Thought that was such a cool little detail that when she's like she screams in horror that her feet are flat.
It's
But they're
the thing of it is, like, God damn it, we covered so much.
I
Like,
know.
we have gone from talking about like the queerness of the people. And can we just talk a little bit about the fashion, the queerness in the fashion?
Oh
Right?
yeah.
What the
Yeah.
hell? Nick and
I
I were
wrote about
texting,
that too,
texting a
actually.
little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, because with so many more queer stars getting recognition, we're seeing a lot more adventurous, risk-taking fashion on the red carpet, and we're seeing it spill over to more cishet actors who are wearing that same kind of style. We're seeing Barry Keoghan and Timothée wearing like um harnesses, which is like
Yeah,
so
yeah,
iconographically gay and just
Yeah.
all the femininity and all
yeah,
of the styles for all of the queer stars.
yeah.
It's just so
And like
cool.
2 seconds after the SAG award, I'm exaggerating, but like it was the uh oh my God, I don't want to get this wrong. Giorgio Armani show.
Yeah.
And my feed became just Kate Blanchett. Like it just I was like, oh my God, okay, all right, okay. Everywhere. But nobody wears a suit as well as her. I mean, a nice, tailored suit, and she looks amazing every time.
Oh yeah.
Any color, any cut, like it's incredible. There was I mean, but yeah, like I'm texting you about the red carpet commentary for Netflix choosing Tan France and his choice to wear what looked to be a windshield wiper for a tie blew my mind. I was so distracted by Ali Wong's dress that looked like a cum fountain. I was like, what's happening?
I
Why
liked
is
her
this so
dress.
gay? And then she took it off when she got up there to win for the win for
I
beef.
know that was bad. I did not appreciate that. She needed to wear that up on stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Streisand looking like your hipster grandmother was fantastic.
Yes.
Melissa
Yes.
McCarthy in the Black Hefty Bag was amazing, and letting Billie Eilish right on her face with the
That
shout
was so funny.
high point. I mean, there was a lot going on, like a lot going on. So I was really, really distracted by the fashion. But like I said to you, my crush has been recharged for Jennifer Aniston.
Aw.
She's looking amazing.
He
I'm
does.
so glad that she's cut her hair like a little bit. Like it's not
God.
like I think at a certain age, it's hard to get away with that long, and
Yeah.
I don't want to badmouth anybody, but I feel that way about like JD, no offense whatsoever, rock stars like Bonnie Raitt.
Oh, yeah. No, I hear you.
Like, come on now. I mean,
I,
really, and Stevie Nicks, it's like, okay.
yeah,
Are you gonna
absolutely.
be like
Yes.
80? Like, look at Joni Mitchell. Like, I think, like tuck it
Yeah.
all up in a hat or do something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
Absolutely.
ugly mess drives me a little bit crazy when you're old and it's just like, So I
It's
love that this was the time that she went a little bit shorter.
yeah. Yeah.
Looks like she's fucking glowing, and that dress was amazing. I couldn't fault anything.
She's
Nothing.
almost like, is she human that she looks that good? And she's,
No, it's
I don't know,
amazing.
where she
Absolutely.
see or
You know
she.
what we didn't talk about, and Nick, let's cover it now that we're recording. Was Bradley Cooper's film, Maestro.
Oh, oh no. Why'd you have to ask me about Maestro?
Because I'm interested to know why Carrie Mulligan, who anytime she ever does anything, all eyes on, like it's like she's just like, like a Isabella Rossellini thing, like does something once every 4 years and everybody goes nuts over it. And it's not happening here. And I'm wondering, was it script? Was it the look? Was it the piece? Like what went wrong with Maestro?
Oh, I think a lot of things personally. I really appreciate Bradley Cooper's dedication and passion for Leonard Bernstein and how connected he felt to the character. But I think that it was more of like a vanity project at the end of the day. And I think he got so wrapped up in what he was trying to create that it became less about Leonard Bernstein, the person, and more about Bradley Cooper, the performance. And most of the conversation was about his preparation, his acting
Yeah,
technique,
did
and
I
all.
read that it took him 6 years to make this?
Yeah.
Really?
And the
Wow.
scene that everybody was talking about, that everybody has been praising, I don't see it when I saw that scene. I don't get the technical or acting brilliance of him conducting, and it's supposed to be this famous iconic moment, and I did not get really anything from it. It didn't feel as grand and momentous as it should have been, and I felt that way throughout the entire film. I didn't like Maestro personally. I didn't like the way that the narrative was set up. I thought that the shooting and style was kind of gimmicky, and I didn't like the queer representation either. I understand it was a relationship, it was about this relationship of Leonard Bernstein and Fernanda. Wait, no, what's her name that Carey Mulligan played? I forget the character's name. I think is
I
it
never even
Fernanda
knew about her.
Montenegro?
I never even knew about that part of his life.
I
Yeah.
didn't see that. I didn't even hear about this movie. Where have I been?
Yeah, it's on Netflix if you want to see
I'm
it.
gonna look for
So,
that. Yeah, I mean,
It's not here yet. And now I don't even know if I want to, but I think yeah, I was a little bit shocked about that because there was a lot of hype surrounding it, and then it just went boom and fell off the map.
that's
The
probably
more
why I
people
didn't
that
hear
saw it,
about it.
the quieter everything got about it, And it was
yeah.
like, oh, that's not a sign. What the hell?
Yeah, I
Right?
just I think that people in the end didn't connect with it because, there were just some issues with the film. It was my least favorite out of the all of the Best Picture nominees, seeing all of them. And I think that people
Talk
other
about the
other things
cool.
stood out.
Yeah. So you said the thing that you didn't connect with anything, even the queer representation. Like
Yeah.
I felt like what I got from it was that the marriage was very contractual, kind of, like I'm not saying there wasn't feelings there, but it didn't transactional, kind of thing. But you felt like, was it the portrayal or the way they came at it?
Yeah, I think that because the focus was on this relationship between those two real life people, that became the primary focus, and that his sexuality was more of a conflict than it was an insight into who Leonard Bernstein was as a person. We didn't see as much representation of him as a queer person. It was just so much focused on his relationship, and the queerness was a secondary uh,
Hmm.
um, cause to the conflict within the film,
Yeah.
and that was my issue with it, really.
Oh wow. I felt that way about Tar.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was awful.
Ah,
Like, no joke, and I'll watch anything with Kate Blanchett, but that was painful. That was painful to get through. I didn't feel the spiral that everybody talked about and
yeah.
all, but it was really difficult to get through. And I don't ever say this about stuff, but the sound for a movie that was about conducting and music and orchestral everything, the sound was really, really bad. Like I had my volume on 35, and then I would have
Wow.
to drop it back down to like 15 when the music was on. But when it was the talking and dialogue, I had to put it, back up to 35. It was like it stressed me out. Like I couldn't I couldn't get with it. And I didn't see why everybody was so um, you know, enamored with it.
That's crazy that happens with movies, right? Where it's like all of a sudden the music comes on and it gets super loud and then,
Yeah, I
especially
expect it. And I don't know if it was just whatever we were watching it on, like
yeah.
a movie channel. I don't know that it was like that in the theaters, but I expect that from TV, not in a movie. So it was really, really difficult. I don't know. That was part of my,
That movie on another show and I started to watch it, but I couldn't get into it. I think maybe I should try it again, maybe just to see if I could get through it. But I do like Kate Blanchett.
yeah,
So yeah,
she's
it's hard to
definitely tough.
not like something that she's in.
Yeah, yeah. But so, all right. So we're looking forward to, well, I'm looking forward to finding the Billy Porter movie with Luke Evans. But we're all looking forward to Kristen Stewart's wrestling movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
It feels like a little punkish, a little Tarantino-ish. I mean, there's a
right.
little, yeah, it feels a little, there's a little bit of thuggery in it. Jay, you might know because we're very night country. We were just, didn't get to finale. I didn't get to finale until the same time you did. But um that Kaylee Ray was a boxer before this and had only acted in two other things.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
I
didn't.
can
You had
see that.
mentioned that. I think the last time we were talking about that.
Yeah, like utterly amazed. And the fact,
I could see that looking at her physique. I could see where that is
yeah,
probably
yeah,
possible. But
yeah,
yeah,
fight scene at the end where she's beating the crap out of that guy. You're like,
is
yeah,
she
yeah, yeah, she knows how to throw a punch. I
is she in the queer community? Is she? I don't know much about her as an
don't,
actress.
yeah, no, I have no idea. No
I
idea.
haven't looked her up. I liked Night Country also. I thought that the ending didn't really like stick the landing. I thought,
I said the
oh
same thing. I
yeah,
said the
I
same
know.
thing. I need
What's that
JD needs closure. Like we
I
talked,
need
she
tell
needs
me.
every question answered, like for it to
Right.
get tidy, like I get that. For me, I was so distracted when
Yeah.
Danvers was giving her statement in the last like whatever 5 minutes with the Hawaii mug. Like, why did they keep focusing on that? Why did she keep picking it up? Why did it seem like
Yeah.
it was
That's a good
important?
point. Yeah.
And she also said nobody ever really leaves Alaska. But then she's sitting on the porch, and was that really Navarro? Or was it,
I
did Navarro go, like leave and never come back? Or did she follow the path of her sister? Or did she go to Hawaii?
I I want them to tell me what the ending is. I want to know, like you said.
Like the
But
crime stuff, I totally understood, from the minute the indigenous ladies
yeah,
explained everything.
right, right.
And
Get
man,
that.
I'll tell you something. They should do the next one all about Rose Agnew.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
you feel like there's a big fucking story there, like
Yes,
on
yes. I
MI6 or
love
something?
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I,
like why cast Fiona Shaw if, sh I felt like there was so much more that they could have done. Like, what was the point of that character?
they could have,
To help
yes.
bury the body. Yeah.
For
But
like
yeah,
waiting. I
honestly,
have to say
love
too that I found it really hard to believe Jodie Foster in those sex scenes with the guys. I
oh,
just didn't, and that she was supposed to be this person that was with so many different guys and stuff. Like, I don't know. I just didn't see that in that character. I just didn't, I don't know.
the tough connect is
Oh,
for her as a mom, too.
yeah.
It was a little
Yeah.
hard. I
But
don't,
I think I agree with you, Nick. Like they could have gone so much deeper in some other points of other characters where they didn't. They just
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
just
But
over it. Was it that there weren't enough episodes to really dig into that, or I mean, I don't know.
my
Maybe
episodes were so long. Like,
they
were
weren't.
yours? Like, mine
Yeah,
were like an hour and a half, weren't they?
yeah, they were long. They were long. It just seemed like they didn't tell the story enough on all the characters. Like,
Well, yeah, no, that's what I actually tweeted about it. How I felt that this season could have benefited from a couple more episodes to dive into
yeah.
the characters a little bit more and maybe wrap up things a little bit better because the final episode spent so much time on Danvers and Navarro, and we have all these other peripheral characters that get like one brief scene every like 10 minutes, and we
Yeah,
don't get much resolution throughout
right.
that.
Right, 100%. Like 100%. I agree with that. Yeah, it was the thing for me is like I kept saying to myself, like about the first three episodes, at least once in every episode, I would say, I don't know if I can watch this. It's it's really bordering on a little too creepy for me because
Right?
Oh, I love
there
that.
were a few like big jumps where like God damn it, that kind of you're like, whoa, I hate being like that, scared like that. But overall, like it did end up like really keeping my attention, and I was super pissed that they didn't throw up all the episodes at once over here
Oh
like they
yeah,
normally
yeah.
do. Like waiting, I'm spoiled, man. I hate waiting week to week, especially when something's that good.
Yeah, yeah. I hated waiting.
Nick, do you have BritBox?
I signed up for a free trial. So
Oh, I highly suggest Vigil and Trigger Point.
for shows,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. These are it's
Are they on
both of those
Netflix?
kept us like this, and they're only 6 episodes again. 6 episodes, they move really quick because that's a
Netflix?
season. Yeah,
Netflix?
it's
Britbox.
BritBox.
Oh, BritBox,
Yeah,
BritBox.
yeah,
You just said okay.
yeah. Yeah, because I don't think they're on anything other than the streaming services that we have for our channels. So I don't, I'm thinking it might be BritBox.
I think
But
I.
going back to Jodie Foster
Mhm.
and the awards, we're covering queer awards season here. The character, her playing Bonnie in Naiad
Yeah.
was, I think, that really well deserved. Really,
Love.
Ew.
yeah,
I wasn't a huge fan of the film Naiad. I really liked the director's previous film. They did Free Solo, and it was a documentary that was really riveting and engaging. And so they brought that same kind of execution to Diana Naiad's story. And it didn't really translate as well, in my opinion, but I thought that the performances were, of course, incredible. And I loved seeing Jodie Foster again. Like, when was the last time that we actually saw her in like a movie
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something? And
I agree.
so
yeah,
I
cool
yeah.
that
She's
agree.
she
been
got
doing
to
it. She
be.
did so much directing. Like she was behind the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
We haven't really seen her, and that was one of the things I was saying that I watched her being interviewed with Christiane Amanpour, and Christiane said to her, "How did it feel to be back in front of the camera, but at this age, and not doing, you know, the high glam and the movie face and movie hair like really played it down, like, and she was
Yeah.
like, yeah, yeah, wrinkles and all. She was like, like,
Is that what she looks like, or did they make her look more wrinkly? Because I couldn't tell.
I don't know.
I
I mean, I thought she looked good during the interview when she was just,
mean,
being
yeah,
herself.
she looked quite that wrinkly in real
I'm
life.
surprised that was even a topic of conversation,
Well, they were,
especially because she was
yeah, they
playing
were
a real
saying about,
person.
like, what did you have to do, like, to prepare? Did you have to do
Yeah,
anything after you had met and all that kind of stuff? And she just said, not, I didn't have to do a whole lot, it was Annette Bening that had to do it. She's like, but yeah, she said, it didn't phase her one way or another to look like that on film,
wow. Well, she's
Yeah.
got a great body, though. I mean, wow, her abs and everything were, in the scene where she was sitting on the boat.
Yeah.
So, this is a lot to be said for that, too. I mean,
But
to
another
have
one,
that at her age,
yeah, but
any age.
she's looked amazing, at any of the award ceremonies that she's been at. So
Yeah.
she's
Oh,
aging
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I've never really seen her as much of like a very vanity focused
No,
person,
right.
honestly. So
Yeah,
you
Right.
know, I definitely don't see that being an issue for her at all. And
right.
I love that she continues to bring that,
Yeah.
everywhere she goes.
That's
Yeah,
actually a great point, Nick. Like, why was that a topic of conversation for her?
it was
Because
really celebrated. That's what I liked about it.
celebrated. True.
It wasn't talked
True.
about like in a negative way at all. It was
Right.
like really,
Right.
really like celebrated, like
Exactly.
and I honestly, like, I kind of understand it does take guts for you to
Absolutely.
look crappy in a
Yeah.
role, like not crappy, but average.
Oh, it's so normal. So,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
just I don't think that Jodie would see it that way,
No,
probably.
no, probably
You know,
not. Like that's why she said, like, it didn't really matter to me. It was
exactly.
it was a good script, a great story.
Oh,
I was just trying to be the best Bonnie, that I could,
yes.
because
Yeah.
now they all know each other. They play cards and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So yeah, you better hope you did a good job.
Yeah.
But
I love that
good.
movie. I watched that movie so many times. I found it very inspiring.
I felt
I
like
just
once was enough.
once
Once
was enough.
was enough. I couldn't stand, couldn't stand what she
I
looked
I
like
love
coming out of
their
the water.
friendship. I love their friendship too. I
Yeah.
thought that was
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely good. But yeah, I just thought that it's great to see her back. And one of the questions that Christiane asked her was like, what's next? And she said, I feel like I'm ready to get back behind the camera again.
wow,
You know,
really
back to back, being on screen. Now I'm ready to get back behind it again. I'm like, ooh, interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
Very-
You know, that's a little treat
Yeah.
being in front of the camera. And now, we gotta
Yes.
Yeah.
anticipate more in the
Back to the
future.
art. Back to
Good
the art.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Good
But
point.
I do want to talk about like who we talked about Barry Kay, right? And was Saltburn nominated for anything or is he just there? Can't
Um, it did not get nominated for any Oscars. I'm glad it didn't, I
bring myself to
enjoyed
watch
it.
it.
Like it was fun to watch, but it's not good. The narrative is poorly executed. But other than that, it's a fun time, it's fun to watch, it's very beautifully shot, the cinematography, all of the set design, and the people. It's like it's gorgeous. So,
Yeah.
but
Is it
not good.
fun? Is it fun to watch? Because I don't. I heard about the bathtub scene, and I'm like, well, that's it. I'm not watching this.
See, that is like nothing to me. Like as a gay man, I'm like, that is like nothing. That does not turn me off at all. But I get why people were. grossed out by that, but
Here's the thing,
it
I'm
was so
grossed out.
funny. It was so
I am
ridiculous.
ridiculously grossed out by,
Nobody does that, you
no,
know?
here's the thing. I'm so, and my wife will tell you this. I am so grossed out by a piece of hair on the tile in the
Mm.
Oh, oh yeah, me
or
too.
on me. If it's on me, and even if it's my own,
Ah,
my own,
what
I'm
was
like,
with the
"Whoa."
bathtub scene? I
Oh,
didn't see. What
when I'm
was the thing
getting,
about
oh, you
You
didn't
say
even
it too
see it?
it? Didn't see it.
So
Can you say it?
to quickly surmise,
Can you
one guy
say it?
watches one guy watches another guy jerk off in the bathtub, and after the guy gets out and leaves the bathroom, he goes in and does he lick the water, drink the water,
Oh,
and then lick the drain? Is that how it went?
oh,
he slurps it a couple times and yeah,
oh.
licks all around that drain.
Ah, that's not a bathtub you'd be getting in, Denise.
Oh, the very thought of it touching my, oh, I don't know. I even get like a little bit, I have to talk myself down when I go to the hair salon and then they're washing your hair because I'm thinking about all the hair that's sticking to their fingers and how could they ever have
Oh,
that?
but was there a hair in the bathtub?
Oh, doesn't matter. It's the thought of it. Oh God. I get, hang on. Okay. So to make sure I wasn't going to throw up. But no, I did wonder because he really is on every carpet right now, and I was just like, did it get nominated or no? Okay, no. Were you surprised at
Everybody loves
all?
Barry Keoghan.
Were you surprised at all at the SAG Awards when Elizabeth Debicki won for The Crown?
I was really curious what was going to happen in the lead races for the SAGs because there hasn't been much of a consensus throughout award season, and most of it has really gone to Succession.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as soon as was it, I think it was her that won first. As soon as she had won, I knew that whoever was going to win lead actor was not going to be a Succession person. Like I was like, yeah. And as soon as Pedro Pascal won, I was like, yep, that makes sense. So I was kind of surprised by both of those. Those were the only two races that I was surprised by. But
I was too.
I'm happy
I
for
was
them.
really surprised. I'm sick of Succession. I'm sick of them winning. Like I'm sick of the name. I'm sick of saying it. I'm sick of the actors' faces. Everything.
They are officially done
Yeah. Yeah.
as
No,
the
Wait,
I feel good about that. I feel good about that. Good choice. Jesus Christ. And let's talk a little bit about the Golden Globes because what's your process for coming up with your Oscar predictions? Is it what's more important? What's more telling? Is it Golden Globes or is it SAG or is it Critics' Choice?
So I think what has really made the Golden Globes popular, not only because it's been considered like the fun award ceremony, so everybody goes to it,
Yeah,
um,
because it
but
covers the gamut,
it's
right? Like it covers TV and movies.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they always award like the biggest stars and nominate them to get them to come. But
Uh,
the thing about the Golden Globes is they happen so early in award season,
yeah.
so that it does help create some kind of conversation around certain nominees. But because the Golden Globes is made up of international journalists,
Is that the
there's no
Hollywood
overlap.
Foreign Press? Is that
Yeah, the Hollywood Foreign Press, which actually that doesn't even exist anymore. It's something else.
okay?
But
Good to
yeah,
know.
they disbanded the Hollywood Foreign Press.
Cross that out of everybody's acceptance
I'll be
speech.
Yep,
looking for
yep.
that one.
So funny. But there isn't really any kind of overlap with the voting body, of course. So I always focus on the guilds. So
I remember when I first moved here, one of the things I was most taken by, impressed by, was that everything here feels all encompassing. Like every commercial, it's an interracial couple. Um, every sitcom has, you know, Asian characters in it. Comedian, like, I was just amazed at that, let alone the way they treat disabilities. Like there's
Yeah,
always somebody that's in a wheelchair or using, crutches, and
right. Yeah.
it normalized it so much for me because it was stuff that I, was
Mhm.
not familiar with from growing up watching what I watched in the States. It's very, very different here. So to hear you say that is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
It really is. They just don't make movies with those people, but man, are they
Right.
all over the TV.
Well,
That's an
yeah.
yeah.
What were you gonna say, JD?
No, I was going to say she makes an excellent point that that's
Yeah.
something you don't normally see, and it's nice to see that they're normalizing that, you know.
Maybe that is like
I
why it's on TV, because more people are home watching TV as opposed
Yeah,
to now seeing big films.
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I think when it comes to the BAFTAs and also the representation, I see that a lot over here in the States too. There's all of this like representation, especially in advertising. Everything is so diverse, but it's mostly just, display performative because when these people are not recognized by awards bodies, for example, it's something that is really telling, that it's just for diversity's sake and to look like they're doing what is progressive.
And especially like as we said before, going back to so many things now are focusing on marginalized communities and indigenous people and queer, all the queer storylines that have been coming up and celebrated. And sometimes they don't get them right, like we understand that, but they're trying, and we're talking about cinematic releases, and now streamers, left and right, which is great because they're eligible for awards, you know what I mean? Like they're making good
Right.
things, like so. Yeah, I think it's you want to see more of that. Like you want to see more of the Lily Gladstones and the Kristen Stewarts and people
Yeah,
that are making that
I
kind of
agree with
stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's the obvious, like you said, like the Lady Gaga thing, before earlier, like when you see someone who you're not expecting, someone who's coming out of comes out of like they're not already celebrated with the big huge name or whatever winning. That's like really what it's about. Like then it's about the performance and not about whose name is going to bring more
Feels
people.
it feels more deserved. Like we were
Yeah,
saying, Oppenheimer.
like that girl that won years ago. What was the movie? Oh, the heavy set girl, the black girl.
Gabrielle Sidib.
Yes, what was that
Can I
movie?
say it? Nick, what's her name?
Cabaret Sidibe.
There you go.
What was it?
Yeah, Precious. It was the
Precious.
Precious.
Yeah.
Precious. What a great out of the box win. And then the woman, who was it that played her mother? That was an amazing performance.
Monique.
Moni.
Monique. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I mean,
I'm
in all honesty, she's kind of fucked herself, hasn't she? Because she could have really went on and done
yes, yeah,
things, but she's such a crybaby, loudmouth that nobody will work
yes,
with her
yeah,
anymore.
I think that
yeah.
people, portrayed her that way. I think that she was much of an outsider, very abrasive when she was on the awards trail, and she really rubbed people the wrong way. But I don't think she said anything that was so outrageous that,
Not back then. I mean, all the way up until present time.
oh, what has she been
Doing it.
saying now?
I don't know. I just saw some article. In fact, I commented on it and all these people gave me shit and I'm like, okay, whatever.
I love the way I
What's the
kind
internet for if not an opinion?
I it was about how she was criticizing Hollywood because after Melissa McCarthy blew up, how she was able to really grow a career from her big Oscar moment, even though she didn't win. But, Monique won, and, she hasn't really done anything since. So I think that she was calling that out, the racist double standard. But I don't know if they're exactly the most comparable actors and, trajectories for
Yeah,
their careers.
I feel like Melissa McCarthy has honed her craft like nobody's business, like starting
Right.
with improv, doing the writing, putting in the time,
Yes.
like, and then her, it's talent on top of creativity, on top of execution. You know what I mean? And I'm not quite sure you can say that about Monique.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
True.
don't, I don't think that, yeah,
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't see
you
her
never
sitting there
know.
banging
Like,
out scripts.
if she possibly was given more opportunities
Yeah,
after Precious, then that could have given her more time to develop that.
I think,
there's just
yeah,
so many different factors that go into it, and they
definitely,
they just have
definitely.
two completely different stories.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird like that's who she's comparing herself to make a point, you know.
I
Mhm.
get it. I'm sure, she didn't really consider who she was going to choose to name,
I
but
don't think she thought it through. Yeah, I think she just
I
pulled the
get
first
it.
one.
I
Yeah,
get what she's saying,
yeah.
though.
She just pulled the first fat funny person she could think of. But it's it is what it is. Like I will stand behind Spy till the day I die.
Oh,
Aw.
I love Spy. It's so
I could
funny.
watch that like seriously once a month. It's never not
I know, I
funny.
just
It's never not
rewatched it
funny.
a few days ago, actually. That's so funny you said that because my mom and I, we needed like a Melissa McCarthy marathon, and the first thing we watched was Spy.
Aw, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, there's so many to choose from now. That's what I love. Like, did you see Thunder Force on Netflix?
Yeah. I love
Same
Melissa
character,
McCarthy. Yeah, yeah.
same character, identity theft, throat punch. That's all I need
Yeah.
to see, and I'm happy. Yeah, there's so many. Like, but like whenever I talk about it, my mom goes, "But she plays the same character in
Uh,
everything,
oh,
everything," and I'm like, "Yeah, but she does it well." Yeah,
Yeah.
Walter.
it's true. She's right, your mom. I never really thought about it.
Yeah, she's like Tammy, identity theft,
Yep.
spy, like it's bing, 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 they're all the same character. Whatever it worked, you're right. I think Melissa McCarthy is probably going to do something quirky and independent. And I mean, she writes and directs a lot of stuff, like her and her husband. A
She and her
lot.
husband.
Yeah.
He's everything she right. He does a cameo at least in everything
In the
they do together.
comedies. In the comedies.
Yeah, yeah. But I think I read there was something where like he kisses her. He always gets like one kiss, and is there something like that? True? Is that true?
One
There
scene,
truth to
maybe.
that? I think, yeah, like there's a like when he was in when she was in the one with uh oh, I
Bridesmaid.
can't think of his name.
Bridesmaid.
No, that one and the one where she played the detective with I can never think it. Nick always helps me with the names. I
Sandra
never
Bullock.
Sandra Bullock, thank you.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Heat.
When
The
he's
Heat.
sitting at the bar or something and she kissed him, like there's always like the one time where they do the kiss. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with Identity Thief, too, I think.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you, Dick, for
it's
always like pulling up the name for me, like the name of the movie, the name of the person. I can
My
remember the.
It is my one unique hidden talent is that I am like an encyclopedia for actors
Art,
and
art.
movies.
without
The
a
only thing
lot
I'm
of
good
help.
at.
Like she just goes, the one that was in the one at the bar, and like you can get it. Like you don't need a lot of contacts,
You can thank my mom for that because she gives me like the most vaguest like
Yeah,
clues to try
yeah.
and figure something out, and I adapt. I figure it
Honestly,
out.
my wife is exactly the same way with me. She'll be like, the one that was in that show with the thing.
Like, okay.
Like
One with the
I'm
thing.
good, but I don't think I'm that good
Funny.
with the thing. Mm, mm, mm. So all right, we probably should wrap it up, even though we bottled this fucking show so bad.
uh,
You guys, I feel terrible because you really missed the best part of this. the whole hour before we turned the recording on. But did we get your Oscar predictions, or did I not have that recorded?
I don't think we got them. I should probably say them real quick.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the big ones, the best actor,
Best actor, Cillian Murphy,
best actress,
Lily Gladstone.
excellent. Best picture,
That'll go to Oppenheimer.
best director.
Christopher Nolan.
Really? Really? Okay, and there's two supportings.
That will be Robert Downey Jr. and Divine Joy Randolph.
Okay, like
Heard it here first.
I think you know what, I will agree with you. I will agree with you on all of those, but I hope for something different in director.
I
Don't know
wish
what.
I could tell you that there was some opportunity for someone to break through, but
I know it's
Christopher
gonna
Nolan
be.
got it wrapped up.
I'm not
Me
even.
too.
We discussed the differences between why didn't Killers of the Flower Moon get as much bestowed upon it, and we did say it was probably the topics. You know,
Yeah, it got overshadowed by Oppenheimer, and also I think it's really hard for people to want to um award a film that makes them look inwards and have
feel bad.
to face,
Yeah.
complicity throughout history, and that's hard for audiences throughout time, huh?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh yeah, definitely. But like I said, I think if something is going to make you shift in your seat, like it and make you a little bit queasy and uncomfortable, it's
true.
that movie and what it's about. It was a big,
Yeah.
big undertaking, but yeah, like I do think the subject matter in this case, not taking away anything from Oppenheimer because that's about like dropping a fucking bomb, and
Uh,
killing hundreds and thousands of people, but the way we talked about the approach, like yes, Oppenheimer was more palatable about an awful situation, whereas Killers of the Flower Moon, it was right there, it was brutal, and it was in your face. So
yeah.
yeah, I think that's a huge, huge tell for
And it's fascinating too because they both deal with like we were talking about very similar themes, and both directors took a third person approach, without
yeah,
inserting themselves too much in the narrative. It was really about telling it from a perspective that did not try to understand it from the marginalized perspective, and that's really important when telling these stories.
yeah, it really is. It's so true.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the reasons why when I was watching 1923, like it was getting all these accolades, like, oh, Helen Mirren, Harrison Ford, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a go. I loved
Yeah.
Stone. I was nuts over 1883. Like I felt like that was one of the best series I have ever watched. Like cinematically, the acting, the subject matter, going behind the scenes and watching everything on Instagram that they talked about at cowboy camp and learning how to drive a covered wagon, learning how to ride horses, like all that kind of stuff was so interesting. And that kid that was in it that was out of nowhere again, Isabel May, again, fantastic. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do the next version,
Yeah.
1923. Woo! And like 3 episodes in, and they're beating the ever living shit out of the Native American girls. I couldn't go on. I couldn't watch it. I
Hard
just
to
could
watch.
not. Yeah, like I just felt sick to my stomach. We didn't
Yeah.
know flight.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
true.
that's what hurts me when I watch these things is that I didn't know their plight. Other than the fact that like we stole land from them, and why do we even have a Thanksgiving? It's so rude.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like those little bits, but
Right. Right. You don't know the real brutality
I
of
don't know the brutality of it, and that's what made me a little bit sick. So I don't even know if I'll give it a go. I don't
it.
even know if
The thing from that on the color purple that I was a little bit other than the fact I didn't expect it to be a musical, and I really didn't care for it being a musical. The music was modern, and it didn't match the time, the period it was in.
That,
I don't know.
that is one of my wife's biggest pet peeves. Oh my
Really?
God.
Oh my, I thought I was the only one. And I said like it just didn't match the time that it was in, the music in the show, so in the movie. So
Oh my
that
God.
was my pet peeve about that. Yeah, I mean, wasn't bad. It was good, the music. I mean,
Yeah,
but it didn't match the period. I don't know. What do you think
that's
about that?
very super strange. Like that's weird. That I didn't know.
Yeah,
I thought it would be
very
jazzy,
modern.
like
Yeah,
Suge's songs.
no, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like Sister, that song she sings. That's not the name of it. What's the name of it, Nick? You probably know.
Oh gosh, I don't know
Oh, it is
that.
Sister because Nikki Mitchell sings it.
Sister,
Yeah.
yeah. I just thought the music was modern, too modern for the period. Although they do that song in the show, in the movie. I love that song.
It didn't bother you at all, Nick?
No, I think that the style of music, the genre that they were making for those songs, it was more representative of what the emotion of the characters, something that would be, I guess, more receptive to an audience. Like
Mm.
the songs were created when they did the stage adaptation for the
Oh,
Purple musical.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that a lot of it was geared towards really engaging an audience. And so we don't view the musical numbers as a part of the narrative per se, but just kind of like the emotional spirit.
yeah.
And so it doesn't have to be um suited to that time period, I guess. Like anachronistic music doesn't um take me out of it as much.
I
Mhm.
didn't
Or
even think about that. Like when we were watching Wonka, like I
Yeah.
never once thought, oh, this doesn't really fit that period because it was
Mhm.
so fantastical,
Yeah.
like so
Yeah.
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 But it bothered my wife so bad. I was binging the shit out of Reign, Reign, about Mary, Queen of Scots, right? It was a
Mhm.
Canadian series that went on for like whatever 14 seasons. But
Yeah.
I was into it. Like I was down with it. I was really into it. And every time she would come in and she would hear like the music, whether it was a segue to another scene or whatever, and it was like a Brian Adams song that they were just like on Bridgerton, like
Yeah.
they do it on Bridgerton
yeah,
too,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and that always like catches her attention and she's
Oh,
like,
that's,
why do
I
they
didn't think
do that?
anybody else, it mattered to anybody else, but maybe because
Yeah.
I'm a person. She's a music person too. I mean, she's a
Yeah.
musician.
Yeah, she was a music teacher for a long time. She's, plays every
Yeah.
instrument under the sun. But yeah, that's just one of those things that like catches her ear. Mm. Like, oh, okay. Well, you don't have to watch it. I'm watching it. Like, get out of here. So yeah, that is funny. Like you pointed that out. There was,
Mhm.
what's interesting too is that, isn't it? I don't want to say sad, but like you're watching the awards, and Nick, you watch them completely different. But I mean, like most people are watching it for those 7 awards, like supporting actor, actress, lead, director, movie, whatever, script. But when you go into the score and like all that kind of stuff and the cinematography, like we were talking about, like I don't know that people really appreciate them because they're going to be entertained, and we're doing the same thing, but we're also honing in on things that other people aren't, and that's like it's a gift, man. Yeah, it makes every award show worth it.
It does.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hope
films and
that we continue to televise those different categories. What's weird is ever since COVID, when Sundance started offering virtual screenings, so now people, including this year, have been able to pay to watch films and get a link and watch them at home instead of having to go to the festival for accessibility. But you think that that would increase the
Right,
conversation,
right,
but
exactly.
hasn't.
That's very strange. Again,
Oh, that's a good
feels
point.
clicky, feels really clicky. And you know
Yes.
something? I'll put it right out there in this there I said it kind of way. I don't like watching shit on my laptop. I love watching YouTube,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't like watching YouTube videos, TV shows. You know, when somebody sends me a link for a
Yeah.
Vimeo, whatever, oh, here's a copy of our film, or whatever. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch
Mm.
it on my laptop.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm the same. Same.
My wife is one of those techie people, so she'll hook the laptop up to the HDMI cable or whatever and run it to the TV to keep me interested.
Aw.
That's how we have to watch The Gilded Age. So yeah, I'm like, but that's just it for like I feel crappy saying that, but I don't like to watch stuff on my laptop.
No, don't
I
feel
don't.
bad about that. No, we shouldn't, become accustomed to watching movies and things meant for a big screen on such small screens. That's not how this is supposed to be viewed. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
definitely
yes.
don't do it.
I
yeah.
was just hotel I just stayed at in New York City in Times Square, the W, did not have smart TVs. I have to say the whole thing. No,
That's
but I was
crazy.
surprised because I called the desk and I'm like, how do I get Netflix? I'm trying to get, put my own Netflix on there or I Hulu or whatever. And they weren't smart TVs. I didn't want to watch it on my laptop. I didn't bring my
That's
laptop this time, but I
That's so
wouldn't have.
weird.
crazy. Like that's really strange. Like we even when
So
we went to
weird.
Gaylord Palms, they had like
Yeah.
it was limited. It was limited, like the choices were limited, but you knew you were watching it through Hulu or through Netflix or whatever.
Exactly. It's been forever. I mean, I just couldn't believe that they didn't have a. That sounds so spoiled, right? But I couldn't believe they didn't have
It sounded
a
Well, I
very
went to like a boutique
privileged.
hotel up in like the mountains here in Colorado, and they had a smart TV. So that
see.
that's so weird.
It's very weird. That's
Check
why
your privilege, man. Check your privilege. Here, here we are talking about the plight of the marginalized communities.
right?
Look at
I
your smart TV at the top of you.
I had to watch the commercials.
Oh, oh yeah, check your privilege.
Uh,
All right, listen, you guys. Now we're rolling on the late night hour.
oh, it's late
Um,
for you. Yeah, it's so late for you.
my cat's got the tweaks. Okay, so we're gonna come back after Oscar season. We're gonna check your predictions, and we're gonna hear about what you're excited about after
Yeah.
what's coming down the line.
Can't
Okay.
wait. Can't wait.
All right, good to see your cute face.
Nice to see you, Nick.
You too. Great to see both of you. Thank you for having me.
We're gonna make it a regular thing again. Okay.
Yes.
Why do you always run?
Like, never stop chasing your dreams.
We drank way too much whiskey.
There, see?
And I confess, my addiction is you. Don't ask me why I'm here tonight. I had to take this midnight drive to find you. And as I come in through the door, I see her dancing on the floor beside you. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted. you. I turn away to mask the pain, but jealousy reveals my rage and madness. And knowing you can read my mind consumes me in a shameful kind of sadness. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. You are my drug, my ever-waking need. I got you in my blood. You've got me on my knees. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction